Alright, the tape ended and I wasn't paying attention. So once again, when we play G major or minor, okay, pretty much it's going to be starting in root position if we're doing an arpeggio from the bottom string. And so these are pretty much these I call them finger chords, because they're where you would put your fingers, like that. Now for C it'd be like this. Okay? When we get to the E chord, so those are root position chords. When we get to the E chord, it's in second inversion. And when we get that A, same thing. And when we get to the D minor, it's going to be D minor or D major. It's going to be the same thing. Alright, so that's up here. Oh, that's a C. That's a C there. Here it is. Alright, so that's the point, that these finger chords on the E, the A, and the D. Sorry for my playing. It's what this is saying is they are just shaped different from the tuning warp, but they are second inversion triads, minors. Alright, C minor and G minor are closer with the octave minor root warped over the fret. Let me qualify this. I'm going to say that if we're looking at, let's say, this particular cage, okay, we can do this for analysis. So root here is going to be the C because it's saying C shape root. So we start here, there's root 3-5, okay? This would be a first inversion arpeggio if we were going to do it. And look, it goes all the way up to the top because that's what C does for you. The key of C in caged, because it warps over those top two strings, you know, your arpeggio that was going up like this now comes back like that on the top two strings. And one fret makes a difference. If you can't play that fret, it's a big difference. So, starting from the C there, alright, is up here a little bit, you know, because the fret nut's down here, and we got the, okay, this is the G. Sorry, we're not going to start from the C. We're going to start from this G. Okay? Now, the point I wanted to make was that this much of this is actually part of this C. Alright, this is certainly a D-shaped C down here. Alright? So that you would consider it a D-shaped C, but strictly it's really a C-shaped C. So I'm going to consider these a C shape. And with the G arpeggio, now in the red, we start from, let's see, alright, this would be, we're either going to start way up here. See, now my colors are befuddling me, but I know that I can start on this D up here. I know this is a D because that's a 2. Alright, so the D arpeggio, the G arpeggio. Now this is 2, so it's going to be, alright, this is a second inversion arpeggio here. You see the second inversion E shape? I call that an E shape. The reason why I call it an E shape and not an A shape is because it's got that shape that you would press those notes down when you play an E. It's second inversion. It's a second inversion shape using the, you know, P4 tuning. A fourth, a fourth, a fourth. It's almost 3 perfect fourths. Okay, but it's a third at the end. So instead of 3 perfect fourths, right? It's a third on top of a fourth. So what I'm saying is, for definition, we have, we're going to call this a G shape, but not just these 3 notes. This is what I was doing all along, but I'm starting to think differently. All right, this is certainly our G shape, which would be it would be actually down here. All right. So what do we got here on the 5th? We have a C. We actually have a C-shaped 5th here. All right. So this is a bad example. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. That was an embedded Andy bloopers. Right here, here's our G arpeggio. What I want to explain is, this is, as much as this is the G, okay, with the capo right here is going to be where your fret nut is, hard fret nut. As much as these 3 notes are considered, I consider them a G shape, I'd like to also consider this like a G shape, this 3 to the bar. This is what I call 3 to the bar. Okay? And what is that? It's a second inversion G. Just like that. Alright. So it's important to know that, and then with the C, you know, in another, I can't find the shape right now with the colors, but certainly we could use just the generic diagram. So right here is, this is where your regular fret nut is. Your regular everyday fret nut is going to be right there, okay? With the C shape, you're pretty much looking at root 3/5. But I started looking at this root as part of the C shape, because we want to identify these chords. What are we going to call them? With the G, we got 3 to the bar here. You know, that's kind of, you know, it's just call it a G shape. Okay, it's 5, 7, 2, 5. Certainly that's a G shape chord. Okay, up to the 7 again. You know, when you go say 5, 7, 5, 7 to where to from there? Root again, right? We'll root down here. We're going to be root up here. 5, 7 to 2. Okay, well, guess what? We don't have a chord there. Once again, we reached that. So it's, with the arpeggios, we can do it that way. We'll be considering this a G shape, as far as up as we can get it, including the second inversion. This would be a second inversion G shape. So we can put the inversion tag on it, but we're still going to call it a G. That's what I'm saying. So where are we with our charts? We got the rules that I just explained. Okay? Now, this particular chart is arranged in a certain way. What I've done is the arpeggios, root, first inversion, and second inversion in this chart. Okay? So, as much as I can, I've expanded this keyboard as good as I could to start from where my guitar starts on root, but this is where the usual guitar starts, right here. So it's going to be this section here, maybe up to this G way up here. We can pretty much get everything that we need in that much fretboard. That's a lot of fretboard. You know, it's about like 18, 19 frets or something like that. That's a lot of fretboard.